Hello and welcome to episode 105, entitled Wake Up to a Positive Life. How can you wake up with a positive perspective? What can you do? Well, there's a couple of steps I'd like to suggest. My name is Gary Vierheller and I'll be your host for what we call the Substance of Living podcast. Today we'll look at what we call life's lessons. And I hope this will provide you with some insight, maybe even some inspiration to life's challenges. Number one, a key factor is the amount of sleep you have. There have been countless studies on sleep, and they found that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is optimal for creativity, problem solving. If you get more than that, people are a little sluggish for a while. If you get less than that, the ability to be creative and essentially productive start to go down. So amount of sleep is critical. So my suggestion is get 7 or 8 hours. Second thing, when you go to bed and you have all of these thoughts in your mind, oh, by the way, stay off of anything that has a blue screen, which is a tab or a tablet or a computer or a smartphone, anything that produces that blue screen. You want to stay away from that for at least an hour before you go to bed. Once you're in bed, and if you're like me, you've got thoughts of the day and things that you have to do this week and all that. If you have a challenge or a problem that has been just defined solution, then say to yourself, describe the problem in detail, and then ask yourself for solutions. What are the possible solutions? And many times in your dreams, you'll come up with a solution. And a key element to helping, it's called dream therapy, to helping that is to have a journal or a notebook immediately next to your bed with a pen and pencil. How many times do we go out of REM sleep and then back into it? Over 100. And that's how many times we dream, over 100 dreams every night. Now think about it. That sounds like a lot. Remember though, you're telling yourself the story so you understand everything. So there's virtually no time needed to give background information or character development. You know everybody in the dream and what's happening in the place instantaneously. Every time you move your arm or your leg, you'll come out of that REM sleep and then go back into it. When you come out of it, if you were thinking of a solution, write it down. Oh, and don't make my mistake. One time I came out of sleep with a solution and I wrote down, remember the solution. I went back to sleep. So write out the solution. In the morning, and this comes from Dr. Viktor Frankl, one of my heroes. Dr. Frankl was a psychiatrist in Austria before World War II. And when the Nazis came to Austria, they rounded up all the Jews, and he was Jewish. And he survived. He survived 3 concentration camps, I believe Buchenwald, Auschwitz, Baden-Baden. He survived 3 of them. And he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. I've read the book at least 50 times. And even in those incredibly difficult situations like that, he realized he had a choice. He always has a choice, even in those dire circumstances. And one of the things he came up with what he calls logotherapy was morning questions to ask and answer yourself every morning. 1, who needs me? Let me say that again. Number 1, who needs me? Number 2, how can I best love that person or those people? And then number 3, what can I do to really serve them? And more times than not, that starts you off feeling grateful for those people in your life. And gratitude can lead to a positive approach to your day. So once again, let me go through it. 1, amount of sleep is very important. You should get between 7 and 8 hours of sleep, ideally, every night. 2, when you go to bed, make sure that 1 hour before you put down the computer and the smartphone and the tablet, and stay away from the blue light. Then, when you're in bed, describe a problem or a challenge that you have that you just can't find the solution for. And then ask yourself, help me, Gary, help me find the solutions. And use your own name there. So help me find the solution. What solutions can I come up with? And then go to sleep. Keep a notebook or a journal right by your bed. So when you do have those moments of semi-consciousness, waking up, you can roll over and write down your ideas. The more you do this, the better you get at it, by the way. Then the morning questions, the 3 morning questions to answer that came from Dr. Viktor Frankl. 1, who needs me? 2, how can I best love those people? And 3, what can I really do to serve them? Give this a try. I think you'll find that you'll start your day in a more positive approach to life. And you'll be finding solutions. Thanks. Thank you for joining us today for the Substance of Living podcast. If you'd be kind enough to consider subscribing, you can contact us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or connect on Twitter. Join us again next time for what I hope will help you navigate life.